Hello and welcome to QX. Today I'd like to show you how to assemble our balance strainer. To do so, I'll first unpack the box to see what's inside. First of all, we have the seat post with a saddle already attached to it. Let's unpack it. Next, we have the balance strainer itself with some protection for transportation. And besides the printed assembly instructions, we have the accessory box with paddles, screws and the front steering. We will not need the printed instructions today because I'll show you how to do this in this video. And first of all, let's put the transportation packaging off the balance strainer. Depending on what surface you're assembling the balance strainer on, maybe put a blanket or some carton box on the ground to prevent the frame from scratching when putting it on the ground. Now we'll unpack the accessory box. In which we find the pedals left and right. I'll come to that later. The front steering with the wheels already attached to it. It's not symmetric, it has a top and a down side. I'll come to that later on. And finally a little pocket with 2 screws, 2 washers and 2 10mm nuts. The only tools you need to assemble it are a 50mm wrench and a 4mm hex key. I've turned it upside down to have good access to the frame mount. As you can see, the front steering has a cutout that matches perfectly the frame. Put the front steering on the frame with that cutout. Take one of the bolts and put a washer on. Fiddle both through the frame from below, into the frame, into the front steering, and then take one of those nuts and insert it in the cutout of the front steering. That cutout holds the nut when you turn the screws for the first millimeters of the thread. Then take the second bolt and a washer, insert both into the frame and the front steering from below, take the little nut and insert it into the front steering to prevent it from turning. Whilst you tighten the bolt with your fingers for the first millimeters of the thread. Then you can take the balance strainer and turn it on the right side back again. Those cutouts will hold the nuts into place. So let's turn it right side up again. Now tighten both bolts, alternating between both until the front steering is fixed to the frame. Alternating means tighten one a little, then the other, and don't tighten one fully and then the other fully, otherwise the front steering might not align equally. Check all bolts after the first rides so that they're not loose. Front steering should move easily, but shouldn't have any play. Now I'm tightening the bolts fully. Tighten the bolts up to 6 to 7 nm. The steering should move easily like here. Next, we'll insert the seat post. To do so, the lever of the quick release should be opened. Insert the seat tube with the handle of the saddle facing forwards. As you can see, as more you're inserted, it'll touch the ground at a certain point. To ride the saddle in the lowest position, you'll need to shorten the seat post. Use a metal saw and don't forget to deburr the edges afterwards. To clamp the seat post, shift the lever into the closed position. As you can see, it's not tight enough yet. Open the lever again and turn the rod into clockwise. This will increase clamping force. It's still twisting, so I'll open it again, turn the rod even more, shift it again, and now it's fixed. Finally, let's mount the pedals. There's a right pedal and left pedal. Both are marked on the axle. The left one is marked with an L like here, and the right one is marked with an R. The right one is fixed into clockwise direction, and the left is fixed counterclockwise direction. Both facing forwards into riding direction. I'll take the right pedal on the chain guard side and screw it in by hand into the crank. Best is to put some grease into the thread before. Screw it in by hand first to make sure the threads get in correctly. Then take the 15mm wrench and fully tighten it with 20 Nm. That's it. Now, for the left side, screw it in counterclockwise into writing direction, also with your fingers, also with a bit of grease on the thread. Once you got the thread, you can take the 50mm wrench and fully tighten it up to 20 Nm. I'd recommend to check both pedals after first rides. Riding with loose pedals can damage thread of crank and pedals. So now we still have to inflate the rear tire. The pressure is written on the tire side. In this case it's 2.1 bars, which you can inflate at a gas station or at home if you have the pump for a car valve. That's it. Now I wish you lots of fun with our balance trainer. Thanks for watching.